Hi, welcome to Coder's Voice. Today I have done a very simple test of ChatGPT and DeepSeek. In this video, I will show you the test. However, before I show you the test result, I need to make it clear. First, this is not a rigorous technical comparison. These are just some random questions I came across, and I tested them. I show them to you. There is absolutely no bias for selecting these questions to make one model look good and the other one look bad. So these are just some random questions, a random test. Second, I use the free version of the ChatGPT. The reason that I'm using the free version is because the free version uses the 4.0 model. If you check the chatbot arena ranking boards today, ChatGPT, the latest 4.0 model, ranking number one, and DeepSeek number two. So this means that the free version of ChatGPT is supposed to perform better than DeepSeek. So it's reasonable and appropriate to compare the free version with the DeepSeek. So you need to know these 2 points. However, although I'm saying there is no bias for selecting these questions and ChatGPT, the free version, the latest model, ranking number one, my personal test shows that DeepSeek performs much better than ChatGPT. I can even see that DeepSeek beats the free version of ChatGPT hands down. Okay, now let's take a look at the test. Altogether, I have 10 questions, 5 for reasoning and inference, 4 for mathematics, and 1 for coding. Here are the questions. So most of the questions are very simple, and you can figure them out by yourself. So we just use these very simple questions and to test the ChatGPT and DeepSeek and to see what they will respond. Okay, now let's get started. First, I will put a ChatGPT, the free version, side by side with the DeepSeek. Let's take a look at the first question. Compare these two numbers, 9.9 and 911. Which one is bigger? Well, it says 911 is bigger than 9.9. Now, obviously, this is the incorrect. And it said this is because 9.9 is the same as 9.90. 9.11 is the same as 9.110. Since 9.110 is greater than 9.090, we conclude that 9.11 is greater than 99. This is wrong. Here it said that this one is greater than this one. But this 9.090 does not appear above. So anyway, this is totally is confusing and it's unclear. Okay, now let's take a look of DeepSeek. Now, DeepSeek shows all the reasoning steps, so it's much slower than ChatGPT. ChatGPT can give the answer immediately. Okay, DeepSeek gives the correct answer, and it knows to compare the non-digits place by place. So for the first question, DeepSeek get 1 point, and this gets 0. Okay, now let's take a look at the second question. What is my relationship with my father's only son's wife? Now this question actually depends on my gender. Okay, ChatGPT said that your father's only son is you. Since only son means have no other sons, so your wife is your father's only son's wife. So your friendship with your father's only son's wife is that she is your wife. But this is the only one possibility. There's another possibility that I could be a female. Okay, so this one is ChatGPT answers partially. Now let's take a look of how DeepSeek respond. So you see here, if the user is a female, then DeepSeek considers the two possibilities. Now, one is that if you are a male, if you are female, you have a sister-in-law relationship, or the first one. So obviously, DeepSeek has a better answer, and also this is the correct answer. So for the question 2, DeepSeek will get a point 1, and I will give ChatGPT half point. Okay, now let's take a look at the third question. Now, the third question is there are 5 people went to a party. So there's a sequence of the arriving time. A arrived before D, C arrived before after B, and B arrived before D, and this one. The answer is there are 2 answers. Also, pay attention to that. I said 5 people went to the party. However, for the conditions, and I listed only 4. I didn't mention the 5th person, E. And the answer should be the E is irrelevant in the position. So the E can be, because I didn't mention the E, so E can be in any position. So let's take a look at how the 2 models respond. Let me copy question. Okay, ChatGPT gives only one answer. It said the correct order arrival is BCAD. It also said that E is not mentioned. So if there put E there, and it can be here, and it can be here. So without considering E, it's B, C, A, D. You cannot say this is the wrong. Now this order is correct, and it also mentions that E is not mentioned. Although I said there are 5 people, but ChatGPT gives only one answer. Actually, this one has 2 answers, so we can figure this out manually. So it said that A arrives before D, and C arrives after B. So this is B, C arrived after B arrived before A, D arrives after C. So B, C, A, D, this order is correct. However, now if C after A, then B, A, C, D, this sequence is also correct. B, A, C, D, or B, C, A, D. So both these 2 orders are correct. However, ChatGPT only gives this one answer. Now let's take a look at how DeepSeek answers this question. So you may see DeepSeek takes a much longer time than ChatGPT because it gives all this reasoning process, and also because they may have the best of the GPU. It seems the DeepSeek has a long and complex thinking. Okay, now it gives an answer. DeepSeek gives the answer in the BCAD, BCAD or BACD, BACD or BCAD. So this answer is correct. It also mentioned that E, let me check E. Since E is not mentioned in the clues, it can be played last. So DeepSeek gives the right answer. And there are 2 valid sequences here. So for this question, I give a half point to ChatGPT and DeepSeek get 1 point. Now let's take a look at question 4. Now question 4 is find a 4-digit number. All the digits must satisfy these 4 conditions. For example, if the answer 4-digit number, if there is a digit 2 in the answer, so then it cannot have all the other digits. That means the answer, if you have a number digit 2, you cannot have 9, 8, and 5 in this number. And also, the number 2 in the answer cannot in position 2 because it said only 1 digit is correct, but it is also it's in the wrong position. Similarly, there are 3 other conditions. Now let's take a look at how the 2 models answer them. Okay, now ChatGPT give the answer is age 319. This is the incorrect. The correct answer should be 3H41 and H341. Now let's take a look at why it's wrong. It's H319. So I put it here. So let's check the first condition is there's a H there. Okay, this number doesn't satisfy the first condition because in this number there's a H. If you have a H one digit, you cannot have the other three digits, but it also has a 9 here. So obviously this answer is wrong. Now let's take a look at DeepSeek. You may see that DeepSeek takes a long time and it's a long thinking process. So in order to make this video short, I will cut off this output process and I will see the final result directly. Now DeepSeek gives two numbers, H341 and 3H41. This is the correct answer. If you check with the four conditions, they satisfy all the four conditions. So DeepSeek does a wonderful job to figure out these two numbers. However, although it gives out the correct answer, DeepSeek takes a long time than ChatGPT, and it takes about 4 minutes on my computer to get this answer. However, usually we prefer the correct answer to taking a longer time. So for question 4, DeepSeek get 1 point, and ChatGPT gave the right answer, so get a 0 point. Okay, now let's take a look at question 5. What is the next number in the following sequence? Now, this is the look and see sequence. And that is, you see this number, you see out this number. For example, I see this 1. The next number will be 1, 1. There's a 1. There's only 1, 1. The next number will be, because there are 2, 1. So I write a 2, 1. And the next number will be, there's a 1, 2 and a 1, 1. So 1, 2, 1, 1. The next number, similarly, this is the 1, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. Similarly, you can just look and see the number. So the first 6 numbers are the look and see sequence. However, in order to confuse the two models, and I put a number 5 at the end. This is the wrong number. Now let's take a look at how the two models respond to this anomaly, this number. Now it seems ChatGPT doesn't respond now. Okay. If we ignore 5 and continue the pattern, the next term is so the final answer is the next number in the sequence should be this number if following the look and see pattern. So ChatGPT take the number 5 is just exclude the number 5, and it said that it doesn't fit in this pattern, and it also gives this pattern if not considering the number 5. Well, you cannot see that this answer is wrong, but this is not a satisfactory answer. Now let's take a how DeepSeek can answer this question. Now DeepSeek also finds this is a look and see sequence. This is very interesting. It spells out Chinese. Probably DeepSeek is more familiar with the Chinese way thinking. Okay, now here is the answer. DeepSeek points out 5 is a deviation. It also gives an alternate hypothesis. It says 5 could be the sum of the digits of the fourth term. So it gives two possible answers. If this alternate hypothesis is valid, then the next number will be H. And if not, it gives this one. So I think this is a good answer because it gives the possibility might be wrong. And if this is not wrong, I will follow this pattern and I give an answer. And if this is wrong, I give another answer. So this is very, very close to how a real human is thinking. So I think DeepSeek does much better than ChatGPT on this question. So I'll give 1 point to DeepSeek and a half a point to ChatGPT because the ChatGPT just exclude number 5 and it gives this number and it doesn't consider any other possibilities. Okay, these are the 5 reasoning and inference questions. Next, let's take a look at how they answer the mathematical questions. Now, the number 6 is just to prove the angle bisector theorem. This is actually a high school math problem. So it means that we have a triangle here. We have A, B, C. Now the bisector theorem says that if we have a BD equally split this angle, so that means that this angle and this angle are the same. And if we use this line equally split this angle ABC, we will get this relationship. Now let's take a look at how these two models answer this question. Now here I will copy the question directly. We can prove this theorem using the angle bisector theorem through use similar triangles and a basic proportionality. Okay, now let's manually follow this process. So like step 1, draw a line through D that is parallel to AB. So draw a line on this one parallel to AB and intersect at BC at E. This will be E. By basic geometry, since DE is parallel to AB, so we have the property ABD. So this line is equal to EBD. So this is the given condition because we equally split this angle. And the second is the ADB. ADB is this angle equals CDB. CDB. So this is wrong. Now these two angles are not necessarily equal because for this condition holds that this triangle must be an isosceles triangle. However, this condition doesn't say that this must be an isosceles triangle. So this angle is not necessarily equal to this angle. Now the problem here is that if you assume these two are equal, the proof is probably will be incorrect. So we observe that two triangles ADE. So this is the ADE, this triangle, and the CDE are similar. CDE and CDE. So it said ADE is similar to CD. This is wrong. No, this is wrong. Now, so far, we don't need to check it further. This proof is wrong because this one is there's a problem here. Now, this one we cannot draw this conclusion. Okay, now let's take a look of DeepSeek. I copy the same question to DeepSeek. Now, DeepSeek uses a totally different method for the proof. Here, it applies the sine law. You probably still remember the sine law from the high school mathematics. So now let me draw it a little bit. The sine law says that the ratio of the length of one side to the opposite angle is the same for all triangles. So this is what the sine law says. So DeepSeek uses this sine law, and this is the triangle ABC, where BD bisect this AC. So these two angles are the same. Because of this sine law, so these two triangles, ADB and DBC, change this color. So ADB and BDC, these two angles, so both satisfy this law. Now, because BD equally split this angle ABC, so they support half, so they are equal. So if we put this one in the theta, this angle is theta, this is also theta. So we can, for this triangle, we can write this equation. For this triangle, we can also write this equation. the two side of equations, so they have the same theta, and we can put them together. We can limit this theta. This is just a regular solution that we solve this kind of problem. So DeepSeek uses exactly the same technique here. So this proof is perfectly fine. So this proof is correct. So for this question, DeepSeek will get 1 point. Okay, let's take a look at the next question. Perform the prime factorization on this number. Copy the question to ChatGPT. It seems that it gives the correct answer, but the display is messed up. Now let me do it again. Okay, okay. This is the correct answer. Is so let's take a look for DeepSeek. Okay, DeepSeek also gives the final the answer. This is also correct answer. However, DeepSeek takes too long a time to get this answer. Now, on my computer, it takes more than 5 minutes to get this solution. So, but both models give the correct answer, so each one get 1 point. Okay, now let's take a next question. The next question is, please find a point P on the Euclidean plane such that the distance to all the 4 points are rational numbers. So again, let me draw it a little bit. Let's draw a coordinate system. Here we have x, y. We have 4 points: 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and 0, 1. So actually, we have a square here. So the question asks if we can find a point. If we can find a point, for example, let's see, this point is here. If this the distance from this point to these 4 points are rational numbers, so this is the distance, 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 and this one. So whether we can find a point, so from this point to this 4 point, all the distance are rational numbers. Now this question, actually, this is not a simple question. This is an open question. Such a point exists or not, we are not sure yet. So now let's take a look at how this ChatGPT and DeepSeek answer this question. Okay, I'll copy this question to ChatGPT first. Now, ChatGPT says that a point half satisfy the condition. This is obviously this is wrong. Now, why it's wrong? Because, for example, for this distance d1, now we know that a square root of 2, this is an irrational number. It's not a rational number. So this number, this distance is irrational, 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 irrational. So obviously this is wrong. So ChatGPT gives the wrong answer. Now let's take a look at how DeepSeek can respond. Okay, now DeepSeek gives the answer. It takes about 4 minutes for DeepSeek to get this answer. And the conclusion is, as of current mathematical knowledge, no point P with a rational distance to all 4 corners of the unit square is known to exist. So this one is the answer that this is the correct answer. So again, DeepSeek does a good job. It gives the correct answer. This is the open question. There are no solution exist yet. So for question 8, DeepSeek get 1 point. So let's take a look at the next question. Question 9 is, find the smallest positive integer solution xyz that satisfies this equation. This is not a simple question. And the answer is, you can see that X, Y, Z, this is a huge number. There are many, many digits here. So let's take a look at how ChatGPT and DeepSeek solve this problem. Correct a solution may need additional time. So I'm not sure if this means that it can solve the problem or it needs more time. So I do it again. Okay, it does give a different answer. Finding the exact solution involves experimenting with the integer values further or using a more systematic approach, such as optimization or numerical methods. Anyway, ChatGPT doesn't give the answer. It just said they need more time or need some optimization or numerical methods. Now let's take a look at how DeepSeek solve this problem. Okay, so DeepSeek gives the correct answer. So for this question, DeepSeek get another point. Now let's do the final question. Now the final question is a coding problem. Design a Tetris game and run it in the current web page. You use separate files. So let me ask ChatGPT to put all the code in a single file. So put all the files into a single file. Copy this code. So save this HTML file. So I just run it. This is working. It seems there's only one color, it's a black color. However, I think there's some problem with this code. Now you can see that this block, it should stop there, but it moves further. The moving of the blocks, definitely there's some problem here. This is not good. So I will not check the code now. Now let's take a look of DeepSeek. Okay, DeepSeek gives the result also. So for DeepSeek the code, I can just run in the HTML. So let's run it. Okay, moving, turning, fast turning. Okay, this is good. Let it touch the top part. Game over. Okay. You can see that the DeepSeek is a little bit different than the ChatGPT result. First, it used different colors for the blocks. Similarly, they use both of the up, down, left, and right arrows to control the moving. But the DeepSeek code doesn't have any problem. So for this coding problem, I will give DeepSeek 1 point and I'll give a half point to ChatGPT. Now the 10 questions are finished. Now let's take a look at how many points each model got. Here are the final scores of the two models. In total, DeepSeek R1 got 10 points, and it answered all the questions correctly. ChatGPT, the free version, got 3 points. It only answers question 7 correctly. Frankly, this is a little surprising to me, because they are supposed to perform similarly. But my test shows a big difference of their performance. I know some people may not like this result, but again, this is not a rigorous technical comparison. It's just a random test with some random questions. I'm sure if you use the ChatGPT O1 or O3 model, it may perform much better. In short, this test is just for fun. If you use a different question side, you may get a quite different result. Also, the AI models are evolving fast. almost every day. Maybe just tomorrow they will have new features and a better performance. Their ranking positions may also change. So let's just enjoy this great era of AI technology development. Finally, I hope you like this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.